The Orthodox Ethos YouTube channel recently posted a clip from an upcoming documentary that's going to be released titled Christianities, and the clip is Tucker Carlson talking about an experience that he had with a demon in the night where he was actually attacked and physical scratch marks were left on his body. We'll look at a few other references to this. This is a phenomenon happening to a lot of people. We'll also look at a few references in the Bible that can kind of explain similar situations. And in this case, and in many others, it wakes people up to the fact that there is a spiritual war going on in a real supernatural world all around us. And Jesus Christ is the victor in that world and in every situation. So let's take a look at this clip.
The presence of evil is kickstarting people to wonder about the good.
That's what happened to me.
That's what happened to you?
Oh yeah, I had a direct experience with it.
In the milieu of journalism or just?
Nope, in my bed at night, and I got attacked while I was asleep with my wife and 4 dogs in the bed and mauled. Physically mauled.
In a spiritual attack by a demon?
Yeah, by a demon. Or by something unseen that left.
Is that right?
Claw marks on my sides, on my...
So he left physical marks?
Oh, they're still there. Yeah, yeah.
This is an important point to highlight because the person says, was this by a demon? And Tucker says, yeah, well, by something unseen. This is something important to reference because oftentimes people say demons are UFOs, demons are aliens, or a demon did this or that. And we don't always know that that is the case. Probably demonic is a good word to explain it because it is evil. Ephesians 6:12 tells us, though, that there's spiritual forces of wickedness in the heavenly places, principalities, powers. So there's many different aspects of things that could be going on, spiritual forces that can't always be described as a demon, but it was definitely evil, tied to the demonic realm, tied to the evil realm. And again, Ephesians 6:12 explains that there's multiple different aspects of it, but it ties back to the spiritual war going on. Good versus evil, God versus Satan. Both those realms at war against people's souls.
A year and a half ago.
Was your wife terrified? I know you were.
I wasn't. I was totally confused. I woke up and I couldn't breathe and I thought I was going to suffocate, and I walked around outside, and then I walked in and my wife and dogs had not woken up, and they're very light sleepers. And then I had these terrible pains on my rib cage and on my shoulder, and I was just in my boxer shorts, and I went and flipped on the light in the bathroom, and I had 4 claw marks on either side underneath my arms and on my left shoulder, and they're bleeding.
Wait, they were bleeding?
They're bleeding, yeah. No, they're actual claw marks. And I sleep on my side, so I wasn't clawing myself. I don't have long nails. And they didn't fit my hands anyway. But yeah, that happened. So I'm not from a world where things like that happen. I never heard of anything like that happening before. I had no idea what that was. I knew it was spiritual immediately.
You did? Okay, that was gonna be my question.
Yeah. I don't understand to this day. I'm not gonna put it
You didn't try to refute the spiritual part in your own mind. You went right into the...
Well, it didn't make any sense, and it doesn't now. But I'm not from a, what do they call it, faith tradition that talks about things like that or even acknowledges their existence. Like, there's nothing like that. I've never heard anybody say anything like that in my whole life.
What was the next day like?
Well, the next morning I woke up and I thought that was the weirdest dream I've ever had. And then I saw blood on my sheets and I realized that was not a dream at all. I was like, oh, my assistant, who was like the only evangelical Christian I know, well enough to call with something bizarre like that, totally bizarre like that. And she said, oh yeah, no, that happens. Yeah, people are attacked in their bed by demons. What? What are you even talking about? Yeah. So, I mean,
worth pointing out here is that during this attack, he referenced that he couldn't breathe. This is something that a lot of people experience with sleep paralysis. They wake up, they can't move their bodies. They oftentimes see dark figures. A lot of people say that this is what happens to them as well when they see grays or aliens and alien abduction testimonies. But something that happens in a lot of these cases as well, that the mainstream who talk about this issue never talk about, is that when they call on Jesus, that the experience completely stops. Very important to keep that fact in mind.
I'm not leaving anything out, and I'm not pretending to understand that. I can only say what happened to me, and that did happen to me. And then I was seized with this very intense desire to read the Bible, which I then started without any study aids or anything. I bought a Bible it didn't have, and I'm not interested in editorializing in the Bible. I just want to read it and see what's in there myself. I have very low levels of trust for Christian pastors, most of whom, I'm just not a fan at all. And sorry to say that, but that's how I feel. And so I don't want to hear other people's opinions. I just want to see what's in there. And so I spent a year and a half reading it, and then I started rereading it. And it was just a transformative experience for me, but I'm not holding myself out as someone from whom you could get theological advice, because I'm
Sure,
not.
of course.
I don't know. I don't understand any of it. But yeah,
Do you
that
think
happened.
God
to me.
allowed the demon?
I have no idea what happened. All I know is I was dead asleep with my wife and dogs, and I woke up with claw marks on my rib cage underneath my arms, and it didn't even make sense. My arms would, anyway, whatever. No one has to believe me. I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
But that happened to me, and so I just was like, wow, that's real. Whatever that is, I'm even not sure what it is.
It's
But
very real. And so then that presence of that evil
yeah.
launches something.
So that's a pretty incredible point in this whole aspect as well. He has this terrifying experience. Again, back to the alien abduction thing. Many people who weren't Christians during this experience, they say, multiple people, they say they didn't know what else to do. They called on the name of Jesus and the experience stopped. Tucker woke up or the day after this experience and had this and said he had a strong desire to read the Bible. So this is proof that his spirit, his soul knew that there was a spiritual attack going on, and he was led to the truth, the power, which is found in Jesus Christ, which is the Word. Jesus is the Word made flesh, and the power and the victory lies with Jesus Christ alone. To look at a couple points, of course, when you type in demon scratches online, you will get articles from like Very Well Health Online. 5 reasons why you wake up with scratches, and they say there'll be medical reactions, your pets, you accidentally did it yourself, you're having a rash. There's a lot of people. You can type demon scratches and find a lot of people online, people who go ghost hunting, people with their testimonies of how they went to a haunted place and got scratched, or they just woke up in the night with scratches on their body. This is not just some rash or something along these lines. This is a real physical manifestation of a spiritual war over someone's soul, their body, over their soul really, but then it manifests on their body because the demon is just trying to get after them. Here's just a quick little reference of what this is. Demonic scratches, also known as claw marks of the beast, are signs of a sinister supernatural presence, unlike regular scratches from branches or your pet. These jagged cuts on your skin can represent an evil entity attempting to harm you. The marks are usually quite deep and painful, as inflicted by sharp claws or talons. Very similarly to like what Tucker said happened to him. He said there's no way, they didn't fit his hands. He doesn't have nails. He lays on his side. Wasn't the dog, wasn't anything else. Very obviously a spiritual manifestation or a spiritual attack that manifested itself physically on his own body. A couple references to that happening in the Bible we can find in Luke 13:11. And there was a woman who for 18 years had had a sickness caused by a spirit, and she was bent double and could not straighten up at all. This woman had an attack by an evil spiritual force that was physically causing her body to be harmed in the way of being bent over. In Mark 9:17 through 18, and one of the crowd answered him, "Teacher, I brought you my son, possessed with a spirit which makes him mute, and whenever it seizes him, it slams him to the ground, and he foams at the mouth and grinds his teeth and stiffens out. I told your disciples to cast it out, and they could not." Jesus goes on, I believe in this instance, to say some demons only come out through prayer and fasting, highlighting the importance of intimate prayer and fasting in our lives to be protected in the spiritual realm. But these are a few instances to reference that evil attacks can manifest themselves in the physical world. The victory and the incredible thing to go back to is that this led Tucker to read the Bible, and he's been way more devoted in talking about Jesus recently in his work that he's been posting. So it's an amazing thing that in this instance, he wasn't led to Islam, he wasn't led to New Age, he wasn't led to crystals, which does lead people sometimes to those false avenues, which they never find the hope, they never find the help, and they continue in their experiences. I've known multiple people that have happened to. They're trying through New Age practices to get answers to these phenomenons, and the experiences intensify and continue. In this case, he didn't say it happened again. I'm sure he would have if it did. He went to the Bible, Jesus, the protector of our souls, the victor over all spiritual forces. He triumphs over them through the cross and his resurrection, and his name alone is above them all. So Jesus Christ is the answer. The spiritual realm is absolutely real, and to be protected and to be led in every area of your life, in the spiritual, in the physical, and for the eternal, probably the most important, is by accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Hope you all will do that. I hope and pray you're well. Thanks for watching, and God bless.